Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
We start with some new developments on a story that we've been reporting all morning long. A woman shot after getting into a fight with her ex-boyfriend and his current girlfriend. That woman now dead. San Antonio police emailing us earlier today saying that the unidentified 25-year-old woman went into an apartment on Vista West Drive near Highway 151 around 10:30 last night. And while at that apartment complex, police say the woman got into a physical altercation with her ex's new significant other. Police say the ex, 27-year-old Ryan Walser, shot the woman multiple times during the fight. She was killed. Walser currently was arrested and is being investigated. So far, though, no charges have been announced. Also new at noon, a house fire earlier this morning appears to have been started by a homeless person. Just before 8 this morning, fire crews called out to this fire in the 5,000 block of Wycliffe Drive. According to fire crews, they believe a homeless person was breaking in and making a small fire just to keep warm. Well, that fire got out of control. Fighting the fire difficult for crews as the home was apparently filled with many things in a hoarding situation.
Just getting through all the mess in the house, the hoarder stuff. There's boxes stacked up. There's trash everywhere. Cleaning all that up.
No one at the home at the time of that fire. Now to the latest developments in the deaths of Savannah Soto and her boyfriend, Matthew Guerra. The medical examiner is now ruling both their deaths as homicides. They were both shot. So far, no arrest, though, has been made. San Antonio police did release this video. It's surveillance video, and it shows who they are calling people of interest. You can see two cars, one a dark pickup truck with a bed cover, likely a Chevy Silverado, the other the silver Kia Optima, the same car where police found Savannah and Matthew's bodies.
We are hoping that someone is able to identify the individuals that are seen in this video. Detectives right now are combing through days of surveillance video from several different locations that the victims were known to be.
The Soto family trying to find some peace in the middle of all of this tragedy. They held a vigil for both Savannah and her unborn son, Fabian, yesterday at Kenwood Park. The family says they're still in shock and still have so many questions unanswered, but they say the San Antonio community is stepping up to support them. At the end of the day, the Soto family said balloons and candles won't change what happened.
I know one day we'll be up there together seeing each other again. But for now, we don't, and we won't see her anymore.
We want to show you that surveillance video one more time. Police say if you know anything about that dark pickup, it has a bed cover, a Chevy Silverado, it appears to be, or the people in the video. You can call the homicide detectives. Their number 210-207-7674. And remember, your information will be given to the police, but you will remain anonymous. Some more holiday traveling will be happening this weekend, and many of you will be taking to the skies for that travel. But before you get on a plane, you have to park at the airport first. Our RJ Marquez with some questions on how the parking spot sensors worked at the airport, and so he went there to try to figure it out.
Well, many of us have been there before. Parking at the airport, we know it can make the biggest difference when it comes to making or maybe even missing your flight. And if you've been to the San Antonio International Airport, chances are that you've seen these lights above me. They're either red or green to indicate parking availability. So we wanted to put these sensors to the test. Let's see what we found. We drove to the airport Wednesday at around 10:30 in the morning and started in short-term parking. The airport's website listed 10 available spots, but after a few minutes driving around, we didn't find any open spaces, even though we came across at least 2 that had green near the space.
Level 1, 2, 4.
We had better luck in long-term parking. We found a row showing 5 open spots and quickly found one. Now it's time to put the sensors to the test. We're looking in front of me. I have 2 open spots here to my left. So let's try and determine the accuracy of this. So I already see 2 green lights. And let's see, and we do have a spot available here to my left. So, not bad. green light indicated a parking spot, so that is good news there for our travelers to the airport. Airport officials tell us that each one of these sensors monitors up to 4 parking spaces. If all 4 of them are occupied and a car leaves, the light should change to green in 10 to 20 seconds. The sensors immediately relay that information to the parking counter located outside the row. We found that to be true. We asked about the lag time from the website numbers to the short-term garage counter. Airport officials said those numbers are updated every 5 minutes, so it could take a little bit longer, but the overall accuracy of the sensors is 97%. So what do local travelers think of the sensors?
Only 2 false positives, but yeah, no, they're very helpful.
It's come a long way since we've started flying out of San Antonio, which has been 30 years. I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. I don't ever give it straight up 10, but you can always do a little bit better.
RJ Marquez, KSAT12 News.
Let's take a look outside with live cam once again. The game today, Find the Cloud. Mike Osterhage in for Justin Horn. We got another one on our hands.
Yeah, absolutely sensational. We had a few clouds late yesterday, right around sunset, but boy, today, haven't been able to really play the Find the Cloud game at all. Temperature right now is up to 52 degrees. That's after starting off down to 36 in the hourly readings earlier this morning. Still got some very dry air. That bottom number's at 33, and that's why dry air down here at the surface. Upstairs, you get those just gorgeous blue skies out there. Once again, 62 for high temperature today, right about what you would expect this time of year. The aquifer did go up 1/10 of a foot, and the allergens, mountain cedar, a couple of days ago was about 8,000 or so. Yesterday it was down around 4,200, and it more than doubled in today's count, 9,030. By the way, mold is still low. I don't know if that matters when the mountain cedar is so high. Take a look at some of the numbers around the area right now. Everybody has warmed up nicely. Gain about anywhere from 15 close to 20 degrees across the board. 50 both Kerrville and Comfort. You were below freezing earlier this morning. And so after the cold start, a gorgeous day today. Cold start tomorrow. Then it's going to be warmer in the afternoon, mid-upper 60s. And we'll get to Sunday, chilly start, warmer in the afternoon. That front's still going to come through late Sunday night, early Monday, come through dry. So we're not going to have to worry about any wet roads for New Year's Eve. And then 2024 is going to start off chilly all week long. Couple of rain chances. We'll tell you when, coming up after this. Ursula?
Thank you, Mike. We turn now to former President Donald Trump. He has been ruled ineligible to be on the state's Republican primary ballot in the 2024 presidential race in the state of Maine. A very controversial decision by the Secretary of State there. ABC's Rena Roy explains.
Maine has now joined Colorado in barring Trump from the state's Republican primary ballot, citing the Constitution's insurrection clause.
We believe former President Trump on January 6th engaged in an insurrection against the Constitution of the United States. And under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, that disqualifies him from holding the office of the presidency.
Maine Secretary of State speaking about her decision to ban him under the 14th Amendment. Unlike Colorado's Supreme Court, which decided to remove Trump from the primary, in Maine it was Bellow's decision alone.
No Secretary of State has ever deprived a candidate of ballot access under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. But no presidential candidate has ever engaged in an insurrection under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment.
Section 3 bars anyone who swore an oath to defend the Constitution and engaged in insurrection or rebellion from holding certain offices in the federal government. There have been efforts in more than 30 states to take Trump off the ballot in the race for the White House, but so far only Maine and Colorado have decided to do so.
All of whom have been asked to engage in this type of in a disqualification, and every administrative official has declined to do that for good reason.
Trump's campaign vowing to appeal, a spokesperson saying we are witnessing in real time the attempted theft of an election.
These unprecedented decisions will head to the Supreme Court. The justices will have a final say on whether Trump appears on those state ballots. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, we're hearing from the Alamo Bowl champs head coach. What he says helped to lead them to the win. Plus, the 4 things you can do to help stick to your New Year's resolutions that you might be making for 2024. The end of 2023 means it's time to start thinking about your New Year's resolutions for 2024. And if you have been known to quickly give up on your goals, I have, well, we've got some advice. ABC's Rena Roy, again, has some tips that could help you stick with them.
As we ring in the new year, people will be making New Year's resolutions, but many times they're difficult to keep.
We find out that February is a time that most resolutions are dropped.
Psychiatrist Dr. Dion Metzger says that you're more likely to achieve your resolution if you don't overshoot what you can accomplish.
I got my new organizer. I got my treadmill. Okay, life is going to change completely. And that's just not reality. So if you are a person who was not active and now you have a New Year's resolution to run 4 days a week, that's not attainable. How about we walk 2 days a week?
Keep it simple.
One time I had a person whose resolution was to simply fold laundry on the same day that they do it. Simple. And that might seem like a really small task, but not for everybody.
And focus on just one goal.
If somebody's resolution is to get physically healthier, they may say, okay, I'm going to work out 3 times a week and I'm not going to eat fried foods. We should just focus on one. The brain responds better when we're trying to change habits one at a time.
Once you set your resolution, Dr. Metzger says to prepare for potential obstacles.
Nothing is just a straight path, smooth journey. There are going to be times that, you may not make the progress you want to. If you predict your obstacles, you'll be able to prepare for success.
And consider teaming up with a friend.
Having a buddy and a check-in system. All right, how'd you do this week? Just having that accountability leads to positive results.
Dr. Metzger says if you feel ready to give up, remember, it's not all or nothing.
Don't give up just yet. Don't be discouraged. What I want them to do is actually reflect back. You kind of look at it through a different lens where you realize, okay, you know what? I am making a positive change, even though it's not exactly what I thought, but it is a positive change.
Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Some good tips there. We are also going to enjoy more rain in 2024. That's another resolution that is kind of making the rounds in the weather department.
Well, after finishing up this year, about a foot behind where we should be, only 20 inches of rain, yeah, we could use a whole lot more. That's 2 years in a row, because then 2022, of course, was very, very dry. Sneak peek at New Year's Eve, and we've got that front moving through New Year's Eve day. It's going to be on the warm side. We will make it up to 70, and it's going to be tough to maybe hit 60 by Monday. Cooler and breezy after a front moves on through here. Then we have a couple of rain chances after that. Details coming up.
As nice as it is today, there is some potential danger on the horizon. A very windy New Year's being rung in, perhaps.
Yeah, it is going to be on the breezy side come Monday with that front moving on through here. But at least we're not going to have any rain with, I know we want some rain, but when a lot of folks are going to be out on New Year's Eve, so that will not be a problem. Love this picture over my shoulder. It is the, of course, now waning gibbous moon. It was full just a couple of days ago. Still absolutely gorgeous out there, and it's going to be a gorgeous moonrise tonight as well. Beautiful sunset on top of that. Thank you so very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Wow. Just look at that shade of blue. I'd love to see when, because the air is so dry up there, and it's just that intense, vivid blue sky. All right, we were talking about rain. We were talking about, kind of looking back on this past year, which rather infamous. #1, hottest year on record going back to the late 1800s, 1885. 72.7 was the average temperature here in town. And talking about that rain, 20 inches. It's 28th driest, but then, like I said, it's on the heels of 2022, which was the driest on record. So we could definitely use some. Well, there's a little bit in the forecast. Not today. Nothing but Mr. Sunshine out there. We are going to top off at 62, normal high 63, right where we should be. We did start off on the cold side this morning, down about 5 degrees below normal. It will cool off quickly this evening, and already down into the 40s, and then it's going to be another very cold morning again tomorrow, but a little bit warmer in the afternoon. Satellite, yeah, the game that Ursula likes to play, find the clouds. Nothing out there. As a matter of fact, around the country is not really a heck of a lot of clouds. There is this huge storm system off here to the northeast of us, and that's what's been pulling down the colder air. You can see a little bit of maybe rain, snow in the mid-Mississippi Valley, in the Ohio Valley as well. Another system off to the northwest. Upstream, though, in the short term, nothing going on. So we're going to have another fantastic day tomorrow as well as Sunday. Humidity remains very low the rest of today, tomorrow. Notice how it goes up Sunday. Here comes the front moving on through here, and then it tries to creep back in here. This will help to feed some of the showers that are going to be working its way on in here by Tuesday. So we jump ahead, and now this, of course, long-range model tends to paint with a broad brush, but there is that chance for some showers, going for 30% chance as of right now. Then the majority of it, though, kind of like it seems like with every rain event we've had in the past couple of weeks, wants to be further up to the northeast. That will move on out by Wednesday. The next chance of rain, we jump ahead to Friday, and it's going to be early Friday morning when this shot of rain moves on in here and throughout a good portion of the day. And this may be a better rain event coming in here Friday. It's still a week away, so nothing's written in stone as of yet, but this is very encouraging for Friday. And as far as the upper level winds, that low is the one that's been bringing us this beautiful weather that we've had on the backside of that thing. So as far as today, 62, 67 tomorrow, cold start, chilly Sunday, not as cold, up to 70. Front comes through late in the evening. It will be breezy on Monday, 60. That may be even tough to hit 60, maybe tough to hit 50s on Tuesday with the showers, all the clouds out there, good grilled cheese and soup kind of a day. And then we stay in the 50s, so it's going to stay chilly all next week. And that next rain chance then is right now, as it looks, by late next week on into Friday. Ursula?
Thank you, Mike. We're going to have to be really careful with those fireworks. Coming up in sports, Wemby making history against the Blazers, the NBA record he just broke in only a few minutes. The highest ranked matchup outside of the college football playoff was right here in the Alamo City last night. Our producer for the noon show needs to avert her eyes because KSAT Sports' Nick Montes was on the sidelines for the 30th Alamo Bowl, and he gives us a recap of number 14 Arizona's big win over 12th ranked Oklahoma.
Hey guys, when the Arizona Wildcats put up their fours at the beginning of the fourth quarter, they were fully prepared for what was about to come next. Not only did they score 17 unanswered points, but their defense completely shut down Oklahoma and going on to win the Alamo Bowl 38-24. And Arizona head coach Jed Fish told us that the main reason why the Wildcats were ready for that fourth quarter was because of their strength and conditioning staff.
We were expecting a battle. There was nothing going to be easy, even though we went up 13-0 in the first quarter. But the guys just kept competing, and I really believe our strength staff does an amazing job of making an emphasis of the fourth quarters when we win games.
All the hard work we put in from January till now, 11 months of work, finally paying off. And I'm just going to try and soak this moment as much as I can, spend with my teammates and my coaches and my family, and have a good time.
That was Nick Mantis reporting. Meantime, Texas gearing up for its playoff matchup against the Washington Huskies. Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian is said to be challenged. He says they're facing a team that has spent a lot of time studying you. As far as the mental game goes, Sarkisian talked about finding the sweet spot, making sure that his players don't get too high or too low.
I think their focus is already there, naturally, how we prepare, how we practice is going to tell me a lot. What are they talking about? You listen to conversations, when we're on the bus and what's going on. But I also don't want us to be so over the top so early that we're exhausted by the time the game comes.
Well, the wait is almost over. Next Monday night, the third-ranked Longhorns are going to kick off against number 2 Washington at the Superdome in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl. It's going to be a party. Michigan and Alabama kick off at 4 o'clock on Monday for the Rose Bowl. Spurs are on the road this weekend for 2 back-to-back games against the Trailblazers in Portland. The Silver and Black did come out blazing right off the bat. Trey Jones scoring quickly, and throughout the entire game, Wemby was a blocking machine. The team worked together to take down the Trailblazers, making it their first win in more than a week. The final score, 118-105. And get this, Wemby making NBA history as the first player with 30 points and 7 blocks in a game in under 30 minutes. The Spurs tip off against the Blazers again tonight at 9, the second of a back-to-back between those two teams. Still ahead in our next half hour, the war against Russia and Ukraine continuing. What their president is now saying is more people are getting killed in his country.